What's up, everybody? Dan Coover here with your 53-man roster prediction for the New York Football Giants. Let's get to it. Let's get going with the quarterbacks. I have the Giants keeping 3 this year, and the main reason they're going to be keeping 3 is because of COVID-19. If Daniel Jones or Colt McCoy gets COVID, you don't want to be bringing in a guy off the street, so I think they're just going to keep Cooper Rush this entire season. Easily makes for 3. Let's talk about running backs next. Obviously, Saquon Barkley is going to be your lock. He's your starter. But behind him, I think you're going to have Dion Lewis stick, you're going to have Wayne Gallman stick, and then Elijah Penny's going to stick as a fullback. In a perfect world, Saquon Barkley plays all 16 games and gets majority of the carries, but I think that Lewis and Gallman are solid backups for Barkley here. Wide receivers. This group gets interesting. Giants fans love wide receivers. They love wide receivers in training camp. But I think you could lock in Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, and Darius Slayton. I think you could virtually lock in Corey Coleman. I think you could virtually lock in Cody Core, especially because he is a special teamer. I think the true battle will be for that last receiver spot, and I'm going to give it to Ohio State undrafted rookie Austin Mack. He's exactly what the Giants like in a receiver. He's a very strong route runner. Is he the biggest guy in the world? No. Is he the fastest guy in the world? No. But he's a good quality route runner, and that's what the Giants really value in their wide receivers. Moving along to tight ends, I have the Giants keeping 4. Listen, it's no secret that Evan Ingram cannot stay on the field. And until he does stay on the field, he's injury prone. It stinks. I wish he wasn't because he's a great player when he plays. So I have us keeping 4. Evan Ingram obviously included. Caden Smith. Levine Toilolo will be our blocking tight end. And then Garrett Dickerson will be our 4th tight end. The tackles is where things get a little bit interesting now. I have all 5 of these guys listed as tackles simply because I would not be shocked if they all play tackle at one point this year. Now, you look at a guy like Andrew Thomas and Nate Solder, odds are those are going to be your starting tackles week 1. Cam Fleming, he'll be in the mix too. He'll probably be your next man up. He'll be your depth guy, your first swing guy. Nick Gates, he could play inside. He could end up being our starting center, but as of now, based on where he played last year, he's a tackle. And then Matt Parrott, he's your project 3rd round pick, who I think you're going to see a little bit this year maybe, but for the most part, develop him. Hopefully 2021 and beyond, he can become a really, really important contributor for us. And then moving along to the interior offensive line, I have, our best offensive lineman, Kevin Zeitler, Will Hernandez playing the left guard slot. Spencer Pulley is our center right now. We might bring back John Halapio, but we haven't yet. So until we do, we're stuck with Spencer Pulley. And then Shane Lemieux is your last guy in there. He was our 5th round pick. Interior defensive line. You have your 3 starters in Tomlinson, Williams, and Lawrence. You have your virtual lock on the roster in B.J. Hill, the 2018 3rd-round pick who was replaced by Leonard Williams in the stupidest trade of all time. I also have us keeping Austin Johnson, the free agent signing from Tennessee, and Chris Slayton, who was a 7th-round pick, I believe, in 2019. So I think the Giants are going to go heavy here. Dave Gettleman and co., they believe that they can generate pressure from the inside, even though they've yet to do that in the years that Dave Gettleman's been in charge of this roster. Let's talk about the edge rusher position because this is one of the weakest positions on our roster, but I think there's going to be a guy who's going to be coming back who's going to make it stronger. That's right, folks. I have Marcus Golden making the 53-man roster for the Giants. For those of you who don't remember, the Giants placed the seldomly used UFA tag on Marcus Golden, and that essentially means that if nobody signs him by the start of training camp, which is July 28th, then the only team he could play for is the Giants. Guess what? I don't think anybody's going to sign him. They only have about a week to do so. I think he ends up back here. So I think you're going to see Golden, Carter, Zimenez, and Fackrell all rushing the passer for the New York Giants this year. I don't really know who's the best out of that bunch. Probably Marcus Golden, but it's really, I think it's going to be pass rush by committee there. Let's talk about our interior linebackers because I think this position's pretty top-heavy. Blake Martinez was a pretty big free agent signing. He can't cover, but regardless, he's very, very good in the run game. He's good at tackling. I think if Ryan Conley is going to be playing a lot, David Mayo is going to be playing a lot, and I think that your depth guy there will be 6th-round pick Cam Brown. Let's talk about those cornerbacks because this position gets interesting. 3 months ago, we all would have had DeAndre Baker on this list, but I'm not putting DeAndre Baker on my 53-man roster. There's absolutely no guarantee that DeAndre Baker is going to be playing for us this year. I really don't see how he doesn't at least start the season on the commissioner's exempt list as a suspended player. He allegedly did some pretty bad things. Who knows if the Giants are going to bring him back? I think within the next week we should know, but until we know, we don't know. So until the Giants come out and say we're keeping this guy, I don't think they're going to do that. It just goes against the organization's MO. So I have Bradbury, Beal, Holmes, Ballentine, Julian Love, who is listed as a corner, but who I think will play a little bit of safety here and there too, and then Grant Haley making the roster. Safeties. Again, Julian Love will play a little bit of safety, but I think your core two safeties this year are going to be Peppers and McKinney. I think the third safety, in theory, will be Love, but again, he is listed as a corner. And then Sean Chandler will be the depth guy, and then Nate Ebner, he's the special teams guy from New England. So, but he is listed as a safety, so we'll throw him under the safeties. And then bringing up the rear, we have our specialists, Aldrick Rosas and Riley Dixon. Listen, Giants fam, I have a good question for you. Who are you letting be your Uber driver? Aldrick Rosas or Kyle Lauletta? It's a fun question if you're a Giants fan to answer, but listen, Aldrick Rosas has not been cut yet. We don't have another kicker on the roster. Obviously, he allegedly did something pretty stupid this offseason too. But until he is released, until he is cut, he's our kicker. Or until there's even some competition to bring into camp, he's our kicker. So, and then Riley Dixon, got a big extension this summer or last season rather, and then Casey Kreider's the new long snapper replacing New York Giants legend Zach Dialsi. So that's your 53-man roster. That is our video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook, hit that like button. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.